The lights in the private rooftop lounge flickered softly against the skyline of Los Angeles, casting a golden glow over a night that would soon become unforgettable. Billie Eilish wasn't expecting anything extravagant. In fact, she had almost cancelled. The past few weeks had been intense, long studio sessions, emotional songwriting, and the quiet pressure of living a life constantly under a microscope. The only thing that kept her grounded lately was him. Nat Wolff. He had been different from the beginning. No pressure. No spotlight chasing. Just calm, steady energy that felt real. And tonight, he had insisted on taking her out. Nothing crazy, he'd said. But something about the way he looked at her when she arrived felt different. Like he knew something she didn't. A night that felt too perfect. The rooftop was intimate, no paparazzi, no crowd, just a small circle of close friends and soft instrumental music playing in the background. Candles flickered on every table, and the scent of roses lingered in the air. Billie raised an eyebrow, smirking slightly. "Okay, this is already way more than nothing crazy," she teased, slipping into her seat. Nat chuckled, a little nervous. "You deserve more than normal nights." She noticed it then. His hands. Slightly shaking. The moment everything changed. Dinner passed in a blur, laughter, stories, stolen glances. But Nat barely touched his food. Billie could feel it, something was building. Then suddenly, the music stopped. A hush fell over the rooftop. Billie looked up, confused. "Nat, what's going on?" He stood up slowly. And that's when her heart started racing. The $100 million surprise. Behind him, a massive screen lit up, showing a montage of moments, private videos, unseen memories, quiet laughs, late-night studio clips, and candid moments between the two of them. Her voice, his laughter, their world. Billie covered her mouth. No way. The final clip ended with a message. "You changed everything." Then, Nat turned to her, eyes glistening. "Billie, you walked into my life when I wasn't even looking for anything. And somehow, you became everything I never knew I needed." Her eyes filled instantly. Tears welled up, but she was smiling. Blushing. Completely overwhelmed. Then came the real shock. Nat took a deep breath. "I didn't just want to give you a moment tonight. I wanted to give you something that lasts." He gestured behind him. The screen changed again, this time displaying architectural renderings, land footage, and a bold title. The Eilish Creative Foundation, funded with $100 million. The crowd gasped. Billie froze. What?" Nat stepped closer. "A foundation in your name. For young artists, kids who feel like outsiders, the ones who think they don't belong anywhere. Just like you once did." Her knees almost gave out. "Nat, you didn't." "I did," he whispered. "Because your story deserves to open doors for millions more. Tears, blushes, and something real." At that point, Billie wasn't holding it together anymore. Tears streamed down her face. But she was laughing too, completely overwhelmed, emotional, and visibly blushing under the attention. "You're insane," she said through tears. "Like actually insane." Nat smiled softly. "Only for you." She stepped forward, shaking her head, still crying. "I don't even know what to say." For once, Billie Eilish, the girl known for her words, her music, her expression, had none. Just emotion. Raw. Real. Unfiltered. The final moment. The crowd faded into the background as she wrapped her arms around him. Tight. Long. Real. "You didn't have to do all this," she whispered. "I wanted to," he replied. She pulled back slightly, eyes locked on his. Still teary. Still blushing. Still trying to process everything. And then she said quietly, "You just changed my life, again." The night the internet never saw coming. There were no immediate posts. No announcements. No headlines. Just a quiet night in Los Angeles where something genuine happened behind closed doors. But when the news finally broke days later, the world couldn't believe it. A $100 million surprise. A foundation. A love story no one expected. And one unforgettable moment where Billie Eilish didn't just cry. She blushed in tears, the kind that come from being truly, deeply seen. The room was dimly lit, glowing with warm golden tones that danced across the polished marble floors. It was one of those nights that felt almost too perfect, quiet, intimate, and wrapped in a kind of anticipation no one could quite name. Billie Eilish stood near the balcony, her fingers lightly gripping the edge of a crystal glass she hadn't touched in minutes. Below, the city shimmered like a sea of stars, but her mind was somewhere else, caught in the whirlwind of everything that had been building between her and Nat Wolff. She wasn't used to feeling like this. Billie had always been in control, of her music, her image, her emotions. But lately, things had shifted. Subtly at first. Then all at once. Behind her, the soft sound of footsteps broke the silence. "Hey," Nat's voice was low, almost cautious. She turned, her eyes meeting his, and instantly, something flickered between them. Something deeper than words. "You've been quiet tonight," he added, stepping closer. Billie gave a small smile, though it didn't quite reach her eyes. "Just thinking." "About what?" She hesitated. "About how everything changed so fast." Nat exhaled, running a hand through his hair. "Yeah. Same." There was a pause. Heavy. Charged. Then he did something unexpected. He reached into his pocket. "Look," he said softly, his voice suddenly unsteady, "I wasn't planning to do this tonight, but I think it's the only way I can say everything I've been feeling." Billie's brows furrowed slightly. "Nat, what are you?" But before she could finish, he pulled out a small, sleek black envelope. And placed it in her hand. Her heart skipped. "What is this?" "Just, open it." Her fingers trembled, just slightly, as she slid it open. Inside was a single card. Minimal. Elegant. She read the first line. And froze. Her breath caught in her throat. "Nat. Keep reading," he urged gently. Her eyes scanned the page again, slower this time.